This guy Beria, one of his famous quotes was, "Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime."
Right.
We had and still have a massive advertiser boycott that was organized by a bunch of left-wing NGOs. So
if you didn't do it, no one would have. And here's the hilarious narrative that I keep hearing from idiots. Elon's a bad businessman. Twitter is worth, 400% less than when he bought it. No, it wasn't worth that in the first place.
It wasn't worth that in the first place.
It wasn't worth $44 billion, you fucking morons. And also, you're not taking into account the advertiser boycott.
So there are these organizations, like you can tell there's they're like when they have an Orwellian name. So like the Center for Countering Digital Hate
Right.
is a total scam organization, because they're like the Ministry of Truth type of thing in Orwell. They're a censorship organization, and they organize and they pushed the advertisers to boycott. So we still have some of the boycott is starting to lift, and I think if Trump wins, we'll see probably most of the boycott lift. But if Kamala wins, we'll see that boycott get stronger. And they'll friggin' shut down. There's no way that the sort of Kamala puppet regime would allow X to exist.
You really think that they'll be able to shut it down, though? Is there a pathway to that?
Yes.
What would they do?
Well, I mean, they can stick the DOJ on and say they've had this whole thing about hate speech, misinformation, whatever. Except that they're the ones pushing the misinformation. But that doesn't stop them from filing massive, lawsuits and using the DOJ. I mean, the DOJ has, been attacking SpaceX, for example, for not hiring asylum seekers, even though it is legal for SpaceX to hire anyone who is not a permanent resident of the U.S. So we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. There's just an example of what the DOJ can do. So the DOJ can only do a small number of big lawsuits every year. They launched a giant lawsuit against SpaceX, saying that SpaceX discriminated against asylum seekers, and we're like, but it's illegal for us to hire anyone who's not a permanent resident. So we're in this this is what I mean. It's like Orwell. The Orwell situation is getting insane. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So you're damned. Like this guy Beria. One of his famous quotes was, "Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime."
Right.
They decide that you're the target, and then they figure out the crime afterwards. That's the issue. They decided SpaceX was the target. They just figured out the crime afterwards.